Hello everybody, welcome to another episode here on The Path of Life. I will be your host for the day. My name is Kai, and sorry, I'm getting over a little case of the double L's, that's the lung loogies. But for today, I wanted to get into a little bit of a project, and I figured I'd bring you guys along. And sorry if you hear a little bit of crunch, that's our cat Coyote over here munching on the muncher station. What I want to do is take this, which is your regular old run-of-the-mill filtered water pitcher, and I want to turn this into an aquaponics system, indoor self-contained aquaponics system. Can sit kind of by the windowsill, get a little bit of sunlight. Basically what I'm going to do is the bottom half here will be fish tank. The top here we will remove, and the basin that normally holds the unfiltered water will hold our grow media, and then we are going to use a air siphon to get water to come from down here to up here, and then it will naturally filter back down into the fish tank portion via the little filter here. So it'll be getting some mechanical filtration as well, and that'll also be a little place that some bacteria can develop and grow as we develop the system. So that's the plan. What do you need? We will need this water purification unit, self-contained deal. We will need some 1/8 inch tubing to work with the 1/8 inch air pump that I have. And then I also have this tubing, which I can't remember the exact diameter, inside diameter of this, but basically this 1/8 inch tubing fits inside of it. There's enough of a gap that the water can flow in freely, but not enough of a gap that that the water displacement will overcome the effect of the siphon. Okay, and this is just tall enough to go from down inside of our water container up to near the top of where we're going to have our grow media. So that's that. Need an air pump and need some sort of gravel or clay media, something, a non-soil grow media. For anybody who's been studying aquaponics or knows anything about aquaponics, you know what I'm talking about. A pH neutral grow media. Today we're going to be using a gravel media. Something that I also have to go along with my air pump, I have a backflow protector that does not allow water to siphon up the air line. So if anything happens to my air pump and it shuts off, then it's not going to just suck everything out. And then something else that I also have is a T, and I have a little air stone. So I'm going to be hooking up an air stone down in the bottom of the water container, and then the tube is going to come up the back. So it will be the water will be getting oxygenated on two fronts. That's the hope anyway. So without further ado, let us get started. First things first, we need to remove the top of our reservoir, and we need to figure out placement for this tubing or standpipe for the siphon. Let's get you there we go. Now we got you another angle here. So I'm thinking of running the standpipe through the back right here in the corner, and that means it'll be coming down back here on this side, and then so hopefully all of the solids will get diverted that way. Now time to drill. So one thing that I do not have is the exact size drill bit for the outside diameter of this. So I'm just taking my time and doing a little bit at a time, just using a regular drill bit. This is just plastic. And so I can kind of move the drill along pour the hole to the right size. Do a little check every now and again. Okay, so now as you can see, my pipe fits through, goes all the way down to the bottom of my container, and it comes up almost to the top. That's about a ½ inch from the top. I'm going to leave it at that length for now. I may end up cutting it back just a little bit, but all of that depends on if it splashes at all. I'm also going to put something to give it about a ½ inch gap from the outside of the container here, just to prevent it splashing out. Okay, now I know it's a little crazy because I opened this window up, but I was using the hot glue gun and it was getting a little crazy. So I have sealed the vertical pipe in place, and I just used a little piece of that smaller tubing there to kind of hold it away from the wall a little bit. It goes down to the proper depth. So it's all sealed up and ready to go. And here I have the start of my little tubing apparatus. So I have my one-way check valve here, so air comes in through this side and water can't come back through the other side. Comes up, and then I have a 90-degree elbow that will drop this down into the mouth of this. Have a T, and on one side of the T I have it going to an air stone. The other side of the T is going to a piece of tubing that is going to go and insert into the bottom of our container tube here, the vertical pipe. So let's get going on that. Okay, so I have everything kind of preliminarily set. So air comes in, goes down to a T. One side of the T goes to an air stone. The other side of the T goes through that clear tubing there and goes up about 3 inches. It's almost in line. You can't really see it very well. It's almost in line with the bottom of the filter. So now what I need to do is fill this with water and make sure that my my air siphon is working properly. So let's go do that. Okay, so we've got the air compressor plugged in on one end. We've got the other end plugged into here. I think we're ready to go. I'm going to have to fill the water to where we're going to have the fish at, because it's just barely starting to bubble up, but not enough to create the full siphon. Okay, so as you can see, we've got bubbling coming up here, but it's not very much. But what you can also see, if you look closely at this water line, or this air line down here, it's got water going through it. Now, what's actually happening is that this air line coming down here is picking up water through the air stone, because the air stone is not bubbling at all. The air is going the path of least resistance, which takes it to the left here at this T, but also pulls water with it. So we aren't getting full efficiency out of our standpipe. So what I'm going to do is remove the air stone and just insert this line straight in and see if that solves our problem. So I've gone ahead and just simplified that whole process there and did away with everything. Now if this works, I will be putting back in, I'll just cut the line and add in the backflow, the check valve, and this this elbow, so that the hose goes straight in the way it's supposed to. Let's try this now. Well, now that we've done away with our backflow problem, we're getting a lot more water coming up out of here, which is great. So it's looking like it's filling nicely. Definitely looking like this is going to work. I am going to cut this standpipe down a little bit. I'm going to have to figure out some sort of a way to make this not want to flow or splash out so much. Alright, so I believe that I fixed our issue. What I did was I just drilled a hole in the side of the pipe so that the air doesn't even really need to escape out the top. It can just come straight out the side. And this does two things. First, it gets rid of the vertical splash. Instead, it's actually splashing out over the sink over here, but that doesn't matter because this will be filled with some gravel. It does divert the water closer towards where the root systems are going to be of our herbs, but also it shortens the amount of vertical height that the air siphon has to overcome. So now it only has to come up about 3 inches from water level down here, and it will fill itself up, and then it will be draining back out. So now all that's left to do here is I need to put an overflow in over here, which is just going to be a hole that I'll drill into the side of this to ensure that if it fills up too much with water, then it will escape through here, draining back down into the main body, and then fill this with gravel, and then get our plants, and that's it. Pretty exciting. So I'll see you here in a couple seconds once I get that stuff done. Alright, got her done. It is in the kitchen where it is going to go. We just have the hose ran out. We haven't decided exactly where we're going to put the pump or anything yet, but we've got this all cranking away. So if you look close, you can see the bubbles coming out there. I've got this rock up on top just because when the water level gets kind of high in here, it does blow out the top just a little bit with those rocks pressing up against it. So I just put this little pebble up on top here, and that just kind of diverts any of those little splashes inward. Right now, the water level is about perfect in here. It's maintaining at about a ½ inch below the top of the rocks here. We have our overflow drilled in, but it is not going through the overflow as of yet. We got our little betta fish in there, and he's just hanging out. He's getting a little bit old. We've had this betta fish for quite a while, and so we'll see how long he lasts in this system, and then we may do a couple of goldfish in this system, or we might maintain with a betta. But I really like the way that this little system is working out. We can feed the fish straight through this little nozzle port there. When it comes time to change the water out at all, do like a half change or whatever, that's a very easy process to do. Even if we want to do a siphon, then we can just have the pump off and run our siphon tube down through here. But all in all, I like it. So in the next video, we are going to be planting some herbs in this little micro aquaponic system, and so stay tuned for that video. Thanks a lot for tagging along for this little build. Fun little project to do here in the kitchen with just a tiny bit of space. You can incorporate aquaponics into your life. All right, until next time, take care of yourselves, everybody. Make it a great day. Peace out.